For Comedy Hype News, I'm K-Rob. Saturday Night Live has been one of the major launching pads for some of the biggest actors and comedians in Hollywood. While there are plenty of famous faces to come out of SNL since its debut in 1975, the list of people who almost appeared or rejected from the show is also pretty star-studded. So here's a list of the most famous performers who we either rejected or almost appeared on Saturday Night Live. Donald Glover is a successful actor, writer, producer, and musician. And in 2018, he joined the short list of a few stars that has both hosted and performed as a musical guest on Saturday Night Live. And during Glover's opening monologue, he said he auditioned to be on SNL twice. Glover auditioned to play Barack Obama in the presidential sketches during the 2007 and 2008 season, while he was still working as a writer and occasional actor on the show 30 Rock, a show that ironically takes place behind the scenes of a fictional live sketch comedy show. The show even gets its name from the address where SNL is filmed, 30 Rockefeller Plaza in New York City. Superstar comedian Kevin Hart has hosted SNL a total of 3 times to date, but before that, he auditioned for the show and was turned down. Hart went on Conan and admitted he did an impression of someone no one knew, the then San Antonio Spurs point guard Avery Johnson. While Johnson went on to coach in the NBA and serve as the ESPN analyst, SNL show creator Lorne Michaels had no idea who he was at the time. Kevin Hart didn't waste any time speaking on his failed SNL audition when he hosted the show in 2013. In his opening monologue, he assured the audience that he was over it, that it happened a long time ago, 6 or 7 months, 22 days, like 6 hours ago. Kevin has since hosted the show a total of 3 times. After 4 years of co-starring in Kenan and Kel for Nickelodeon, stars Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell went their separate ways, but not before both of them auditioned for SNL. Kenan got the job and has since become the longest running cast member on the show, and Kel didn't. Kel shared an interview with Yahoo Entertainment a few of the characters he used during the audition. One was rapper DMX if he was stuck in the world of Toy Story, and another one was Michael Jackson if he was allergic to trees. The reaction in the room was mixed, and that he's not bitter about not making it on SNL. There was some laughter there was some, what the heck is going on? He said with a smile, I think they were looking for a certain thing. I'm in a class with a lot of guys. Jim Carrey auditioned too, and he's awesome. I have no remorse about that. That was years ago. A whole bunch of comedians went in and Kenan got it. So shout out to Kenan, super excited for him. That's my bro. In a 2018 episode of The Late Night with Seth Meyers, Tiffany Haddish discussed the time she too auditioned for SNL. During her interview, she jokingly said, I couldn't find any other black people other than the janitor. I wanted a picture with you, and I made you take a picture with me and a janitor, because I wanted to show there was diversity here. Tiffany revisited her failed SNL audition again at the 2019 Tribeca Film Festival. Tiffany told the crowd, I said, if they don't give it to me, them. Yep, I said it, next time I'll be hosting, and that's that. And just like she said, in 2017, Tiffany made SNL history, becoming the first black female stand-up comic to host the show. Believe it or not, Jim Carrey actually auditioned to be a part of the Saturday Night Live cast a few times during the 1980s. His first audition came when Carrey was only 18 years old and new to stand-up comedy. And on his last and final audition, Carrey received a bad omen that preceded his unsuccessful Saturday Night Live tryout. I got out of the car in the parking lot, and there was a person trying to work up the guts to commit suicide on the building, on the NBC lot in Burbank. And I walked into the building not knowing whether he did it. According to the talent coordinator, Neil Livy, in an interview in the Live from New York Saturday Night Live oral history book, he had to threaten to quit to get Dominion to hire 18-year-old Eddie Murphy. So I can't imagine she would easily add a second teenager to the cast and let him run wild even if he had the goods. Show creator Lorne Michaels denied any direct responsibility for the decision to reject Carrey when he spoke to James Andrew Miller and Tom Shells for Live from New York. Jim Carrey never auditioned for me personally. There's an audition tape which we almost played on a 25th anniversary show. If he had come that night, we would have. We have all the audition tapes. Carrey, I think he auditioned for Al Franken the year I was an executive producer, and Tom Davis and Al were the producers along with Jim Downey. In 2013, the people at Saturday Night Live held a Black Women's Showcase as a response to being criticized for a lack of diversity, especially when it came to black women. Brescia Webb was one of the several comedians to take part of the showcase. Here's what she had to say about the experience. The audition came about from an inside source from SNL. I don't think any of us had a clue about the showcase until 2 days prior. It was an awesome experience, even though it was such a short notice. But if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. And we were ready, but we're all honored to be selected. I had no clue who was a part of the showcase. Of course, my comedian friends Tiffany Haddish, Beth Payne, and Gabrielle Dennis were there. And some talented ladies in sketch comedy were there that I had never met. We were all very supportive of each other, and there was no sense of competition or pettiness. We were just happy that some black women in comedy were being considered and given a shot. We even held hands and prayed after the showcase. It was refreshing. The show was also sold out. It was packed to the max. Last on our list is Robert Townsend. Townsend auditioned for the show in 1980, the same year John Dominion became the new producer of Saturday Night Live for his 6th season, when she had to put together an entirely new cast. She was looking to hire just a single black actor for the cast. She really wanted to hire Townsend at one point, but she eventually was convinced to hire Eddie Murphy instead. Eddie Murphy did his audition for Gene, and she sent him out of the room, and she said to me, well, he's good, but I like Robert Townsend better. And I went nuts. You know, I threatened to quit. She only wanted to hire one black actor, and Townsend hadn't signed his contract yet, so she signed Eddie. Townsend spoke about it later in an interview with Smashing Interview magazine. What's so funny is I had no idea how close I was getting it. I was a young actor in New York. You know, an audition is another audition, and I went in and I gave it my all. When I found out I didn't get it, I was like, okay, I thought I was really good. And then some books come out and say there's a big debate over Robert Townsend at Saturday Night Live. I was like, really? Nobody told me. They went with Eddie Murphy? But here's the thing, I look at life like it's all beautiful. I would have never become a filmmaker if I had gotten on SNL. I would have just been a performer doing the sketches on the show and being funny. I don't think the filmmaker would have come out of me. And that was around the same time that filmmaker in me was born. I think everything happens for a reason, because I like making movies and TV shows. I like writing and producing, but I don't think I would have been that guy. Despite everyone on the list not getting the SNL gig, they continued on their path and made their own impact on the industry, proving when one door closes, another one opens. To stay up to date with the latest in news and comedy, subscribe here to our YouTube and follow Comedy Hype across all of our social media platforms. For Comedy Hype News, I'm K-Rob.